Today we're going to be talking about how sports sponsorship developed over the years. Enjoy! The sports sponsorship actually can be dated back to 2,500 years ago. The word athlete comes from the ancient word that basically meant the competitor for the prize. There are around 50 regularly scheduled sets of athletic games in the Mediterranean area 500 BC. When it comes to prizes that the winners received, they were very simple. Only the first place counted, and it was the olive crown, no monetary rewards, and second and third place, they literally got nothing. As an example, I can give you the Olympic Games. Originated actually in a city called Olympia. It was hosted every 4 years. Winner received the wild olive leaf crown and a palm branch in the right hand. So although the winners of the Olympics didn't get any monetary rewards, coming back to their cities, especially in the Athens, they could get a lot of benefits. Any victors returning home, they would get tax exemptions. My granddad always used to say the only certain thing in life is death and tax. Not in the ancient Greece, granddad. If you're a victor only, not on second or third place. They would also be treated differently on different events, getting the VIP treatment. They would also get lifetime passes to different dining experiences, cash bonuses, as well as statues made in their honor. Many prizes they were giving on the expense of the city. However, a lot of them they were sponsored by wealthy individuals. Please bear in mind that at that time you had to be a winner to get any sort of perks. If you were, second or third place, it did not matter at all. But crap, isn't it? That's why the majority of the contestants in the Olympics and other sports events, they were wealthy, privileged men who could afford the time and the money to actually prepare and participate in the event. Back then, the Olympic athletes, they were training for around 10 months. And then they would spend 1 month in a city called Elis, where there was the most famous training facility right before the Olympics in modern times, that was sort of like a training center for them. So when you think about it, it's 11 months of intense training. The average laborer, they would never find the time or the money to be able to participate. That's why even in the ancient Greece, the majority of sportsmen, they had wealthy backgrounds. Then it started to change a little bit, and a lot of wealthy families would get involved because they would get tax exemption. So if they would sponsor someone to go to the Olympics or any other sporting events, they would actually get money and tax exemptions from their cities. So a lot of them started to do that. And here I've got a really interesting story for you. 300 years BC, there was a boxer called Athenodorus, and he had a coach who acted as a sports agent. He was trying to negotiate a deal between the city council and Athenodorus so he could perform and get the aid that he needed in order to go to the Olympics. So it's the first ever recorded history of sports agents, which is kind of interesting thinking about that it was 300 years BC. How long they've been around. Later on, the prizes started to change. So it wasn't just the oil leaf crown, but it was different sort of stuff. So for example, for the first place, only for the first place, the winner would get 9 gallons of olive oil, and then he could sell it and actually had a bit of money. As I said before, sponsoring the athlete was a big business back then, and it is still a big business right now. It's kind of said that not a lot of things has changed when it comes to Olympics. For example, a lot of athletes nowadays, they have to have their daily jobs and prepare for the Olympics. So not a lot have changed, When I was doing the research for this video, I realized that Even though, we're in 2020 and with the Olympics and stuff, a lot of athletes, they have to, train from their own money, doing their daily jobs in order to get to the Olympics. And if they don't perform well in the Olympics, they are never going to be signed with Nike or any other big corporations. So I feel like there's not a lot of support for them, and not a lot of has changed since, the ancient Greece time. Nowadays, we do have GoFundMe pages that you can become a sponsor, one of the sponsors for people who are training to become Olympians. And that's the same that they had in the past. There was just wealthy people putting their money as an entertainment and tax purposes.